Welcome back to Texas Truck Channel. I'm Sam, and behind the camera is Brian.
What's up?
As always, and today we have something different. This is the Polaris Xpedition AD5 NorthStar. Oh, the 1000.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, because it's a 1000 cc motor that makes 114 horsepower, and yeah, I mean it's the same generation, or actually it's a Gen 2, which is a revision of that motor in this one. So,
but this has a Gen 2 PVT transmission. Yeah. This has the Gen 1 transmission.
So you kind of get flip-flop back and forth, but it's all right. It doesn't matter. So this is a Xpedition ADV5 NorthStar because it has 5 seats. So if you look in the back seat, we'll get into it later, but you have 3 seats in the back, kind of have some more fun back there. This color is actually in matte moss green. You can see it's obviously green. It's obviously matte. We get a nice little camo on the side. I like it. It does look good.
It looks even better with mud on it. I've got B-roll for that. I've got B-roll for that.
So coming around to the front, we do get a nice little bull bar and a 4,500-pound winch. The controls are inside, and I do believe, do you get a controller on this like the Ranger?
Yeah, you get a remote controller, and then you also have a dash control.
I don't think so. Can you? I don't know if you can.
Yeah, we can open this. This thing, actually, I'll show you. This is kind of tricky. You've got your tabs are right here.
Oh, there we go.
And then this comes forward, and now you pull these straps. A little more secure than the Ranger over there.
Oh, and you can see it's dirty. Okay. Well, but since we're here, we're gonna go ahead and see. This is how high you can get it.
Yeah,
this is how you can get it this high.
Hang on. Before Polaris gets upset or scared, we didn't get it this high. That's just splash up from the puddle.
Just splash. Just splash. And then you have plenty of room to add some. We'll get into this all later. Let's keep the exterior.
Okay.
Coming around to the tires, these are 30-inch Armor Crawler XP tires. Brian's had these. He's put these to use, and they work.
Darn good.
They just work. And then if you look back there, you can see we have a huge coilover, a Fox coilover. These are the Fox Podium QS3s. Okay, so but these also come standard on the Tacoma TRD Pro. So
correct, and they have these adjustments right here, so you can change it from 1 to 2 to 3. Three-way adjustables. We've left it in the middle the whole time, and it rides phenomenally. Yeah. What's the travel on the suspension?
Front and back, they're all the same. You get 14 inches of travel. That is a lot for something like this. And then, can we look at the approach angle? So the Ranger had a little bit more approach angle, I would say. But this one, I mean, what are you? You're in the 80s, the 90s?
I think 90.
You're crawling, you're hitting walls like this, and you're just walking over.
It's tire first, right?
It's tire
now, for reference on suspension travel, a Gen 1 Raptor is 11 inches of travel.
This will do it.
Yeah.
This will do it. All right, and then coming around the side, you just see we do get a fully enclosed cabin. This is what you're gonna get with the NorthStar. You get glass all around, and then you get a cover over your bed.
And an air intake right here. So this is cool because we've had, Sam, you remember we took to Colorado, we had a ADV2 non-NorthStar last summer, and our issue with that was we had no closable storage.
Yeah. So and this is nice because you can lock everything, you can unlock it all.
Okay. There you go.
And then we have 600 pounds you can put back here. The total payload is 1160, so you have plenty of room to put stuff in here and have gear in the front. Also, you can put a rooftop tent on this.
Yeah, we've used that.
Yeah, we've had it.
So the beauty of this back here, Sam, is like we did a wheeling day with my whole family, wife and kids, and we had an IceCo chest in the back, refrigerator in the back, and there's a 9-volt outlet in the back seat. We just ran a cord to it, and the fridge was good all day, and it was dust free. Everything was good. And
then if we come around the back, we see we get the same coilovers that we get in the front, and then we also get a 2-inch receiver.
All right.
That is going to be good for 2,000 pounds of towing, which is nice if you have like a little trailer you're going to be doing, or like maybe you're doing some fence work around your ranch or something like that. You'll be able to tow your little trailer around with all the gear you need.
Or if you need to tow another Can-Am out or something like that.
Anything. Just start yanking them out.
There you go. Oh, I see some rear sway bar back here,
Yeah, we get rear sway bar. I mean, obviously we get beefy uppers or lowers and.
Oh, hey, that's interesting. So your oil check is right here. Maybe that's your transmission fluid. I'm not sure. So this is interesting. The Rangers, like this one over here, the bed tips back and you have access. For this, you've got to go around the side.
Yeah, you don't get any access. If you needed to work on this, you're pulling
body work off.
Right?
So, okay, good to know.
You get your
fuel tanks on this side.
Yeah, you get your little fuel tank right here. Fuel knob.
Hang on, there's something about that.
So you have a 14 and I think it's a 14.5 gallon tank, but that's good for 200 miles of range. So if you were really in the backcountry and you were really doing some trail work or going camping, you'd be good to go 100 miles round trip. So
yeah,
that's impressive.
Yeah.
That's really impressive.
Not bad.
With the NorthStar Edition, you do get HVAC and all that, but we'll get in that into the interior. Why don't we check it out?
Let's go to the interior.
All right, coming around to the back seat, you can see we have some room. We have some gear back here. Let's see. We're gonna
take these helmets. Yeah, have your helmets for safety. So
you get a fully leather pleather seat with nice padding. When you get in here, they're pretty comfy. I'm about 5'9".
Yeah.
I have plenty of room. I think Brian would have room back here too.
Yeah,
and then you get a nice little bar.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. So the kids back here with their helmets on, of course. Which this is why they have to have helmets on in here because otherwise their teeth hit this. But they would hold this, and they were happy and comfy and jostling around, no big deal.
And then you get 2 cup holders back here that do seem like they're removable, so if you wanted to add some different accessories to this, you could. You get power mirrors and then a cigarette 12-volt lighter.
Yeah, so unlike the Ranger, these are actually power in the rear.
They're
not
powered in
crank.
the rear.
Yeah. Okay, there's one more thing I want to show the people too, if you want to hop up. Pull this red strap, and now you get a full flat area. Look how much capacity you have in here.
A lot of capacity room.
So even if you're not bringing 5 humans with you, you can still put a bunch of gear in here. You can do utility work with it. It's pretty versatile.
Yeah, and then like Brian said with the other one, he literally just cleaned it out with the power washer. I mean, you spray these things down, they're gonna drain.
This one too. I'm gonna show the people. There's a plug in the floor like an old Jeep. Right here, I pulled the plug out and I literally just hosed it out and got all the crud out of here. So pretty helpful, pretty handy. I love these things.
Yeah, let's go to the front seat.
Okay.
Okay, coming around to the front seat, you can see we don't get any controls on the door for like our mirrors or anything, or our windows. That's because everything is in the center console.
Oh, okay.
Right? So if we wanted to use our power windows, we just click them from here and off you go. And like Brian mentioned, we do get the first generation PVT transmission, which is a little harder to pull, but it's not the end of the world. You do get a 10-inch subwoofer with a JBL audio
stereo. It's right down here.
Yeah, and then you get 2 6-inch speakers and then 2 tweeters as well.
And then I see some tweeters in the back too, or something up in the top back there.
Yeah, right,
Those are just boxes.
Let's see, and then this is very,
ooh, that's loud.
This one has HVAC, it has AC and heat, but it, like Ryan said, it is kind of loud. That's the lowest setting. It's kind of loud.
It's kind of loud,
but the thing is though, is if you're in here anyways and you're doing road work, you can't hear anything.
Well, you know,
it doesn't matter.
With a helmet on as well, it just doesn't, it's not an issue.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And this is very Polaris, and you get the same gauges as you would normally get. You have low and high beams in here, both LEDs, and then as you can see, we get the 7-inch ride command system from Polaris that's going to allow us to do pretty cool things. I mean, obviously we have different gauges that we can configure in certain ways, but I think the biggest deal is this navigation system. So if you were out with your buddies, like if we had 2 Rangers out and we had no cell reception, no nothing, we could still figure out where everybody was and what was going on.
Yeah. So you can pair with your buddies or other Polaris riders, and you can match up your systems for the ride. So if someone, and these are all GPS based, not cell phone based. That's actually the big difference. Your vehicle at home with CarPlay is working off your cell phone, or is cellular signal in the vehicle. So when you get out of range of reception, which is what this vehicle is about, you're still covered in this. And so you can see where your buddies might be lost or you're lost or something like that.
And like most manufacturers, you do not need a subscription to use this function or use these features.
That's a big deal, honestly. For this function, it's a big deal. Like your pickup truck won't do this, so that's pretty cool. I like that a lot.
And then we can it has Bluetooth, and then we have AM, FM radio, and then we can just do all of audio.
And also, you feel those buttons?
Yeah, they're all.
They're waterproof.
Nice. Waterproof.
They're waterproof. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we have 1-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, and then 4-wheel drive. That's really easy to use. I mean, it's on command, just like Polaris advertises it. And then we do get some different throttle mapping.
Yep.
So this is going to be your sport, standard, and comfort. All it's doing is change throttle mapping, making it just a little bit more.
So your power doesn't change and your PVT tuning doesn't change. It's just the throttle mapping to make it smoother. So if you're on like a rock crawl obstacle, you want to slow down that jumpiness of the throttle, that's what you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then we also do get our winch controls right here. We got our out and in. And then coming around to the front too, we can pop this windshield, and we have plenty of visibility, and we have nice, we'll roll down the windows.
All 4 powered, that's pretty nice. Solid.
All the windows down, we're getting all the airflow if you have a nice spring day or anything you want to just enjoy the day.
So we did this off-road trip recently in Northwest OHV in Bridgeport near us. And most of the day was like this. Window open, windows are down, all kinds of stuff. But it got hot in the afternoon. It got dusty. Put them up, closed down. AC was on. Kids were happy.
Yeah, and you're really getting more raw experience. I think like with something like this, you're able to close the windows, put the AC on, like just kill some miles. But if you want to get like a raw rock crawler, you can pop the windows open. Yeah, it'll do everything. So
one of my favorite things about this is that because the way the suspension rides, there's so much travel, the fatigue on the occupants is so low. Like if you went to the off-road park with that Ranger, it would do all this stuff, but everyone would be going, bouncing heads around, and this just absorbs everything.
Yeah, you do get some sound deadening throughout the cab, but it's still, I mean, you can't expect too much. It's still...
Well, you're expected to be wearing a helmet with this, and so all of a sudden the NVH isn't as big of a deal.
Yeah, and you do get a tilting steering wheel along with a completely adjustable driver's seat, which is just like sliding forward and back, that's it.
But I wish you could do the incline a little more on this. So talk about the motor a little more. How much power did it make?
Yeah, so it makes 114 horsepower, and this is the Gen 2 1000cc motor from Polaris. So and then it's just paired with it's like the CVT. Okay,
so I think the biggest deal here is we have 2 vehicles on our hand right now because there's overlap on these 2 loans. We need to go drag race these and see which one comes out on top. This has more power, but it's a little heavier and has the older transmission. So let's see. That'll be in a future episode. So be sure to hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Hey, one more thing on this, Sam. What does this thing cost?
One thing we forgot to mention. This is about $45,000. But this is the top of the top, though.
That's true. And look, your Jeep does not have that kind of suspension travel.
No, it doesn't. I think so. Like, if you have a disposable amount of money that you can
of course.
Use this, right? I think it's going to be very dedicated. I think you're going to be able to do whatever you need to do in it, and it's going to get you back home, and you don't have to worry about it.
I think the big deal with this, too, is that if you own something like this, you have adventure property or adventure trips, and you have a diesel truck you're probably towing other things around with. So you don't want to take your pickup and get it on trails where it gets dirty and scratched. This is all plastic, so if something gets scuffed enough, you just replace the panel. There's no body shop involved.
Yeah, and we had one of these, and we pulled with a Ranger, and we're gonna admit it was kind of struggling. We took it all the way to Colorado, though.
Yeah, elevation.
It was elevation, but I mean, if you have a diesel truck, it's not even. This is not even
a half ton.
Yeah, it's not even gonna be thinking about it. So yeah, but thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.